Just give me time, give me time, give me time. Give me time, give me time. I've been slacking, okay? I've been slacking. This next week, I'm gonna try to get him to do some more. Oh, if y'all haven't, okay. If y'all haven't watched, hey, good morning. If y'all haven't watched, go watch High School Catfish documentary on Netflix. Go watch it. Go watch it. I told Kevin who it was, and he's like, that ain't it. The whole time, he's like, it's them, it's them, it's them, it's them. Okay, whatever. I've already been ruined because TikTok told me, but you go ahead and watch it. And he didn't believe me, but I was right. And then The Quilters. Go watch High School Catfish, Unknown Number, and go watch The Quilters. Okay, The Quilters is humble. It's prison guards. I think I'm going to start donating to them. The prison guards, they make quilts for foster kids in the neighboring towns around them for their birthday. They've already given 2,000 quilts. I mean, big, huge quilts. They got to stand up and hold. Like ginormous quilts, not baby quilts. They make weighted vests and they make weighted bears for autistic children. So if you know anybody who's giving away fabric or sewing materials or don't need some stuff that they have, I'm gonna go through my stuff and look also. It's already on there. Captain to captive, baby. It's already on there. I mean, there's already like 11 or 12 parts, so they were. I watched them last night. I wanted more. And Fred getting kicked out. I was so mad about that. The Quilters on Netflix. Like I said, if any of y'all have like a, if any of you guys have like a family member that's passed away, or you're gonna donate a bunch of fabric, or I mean anything really, batten, anything neat. I told Kevin, I said, how do they keep track of those needles? Because I said, you lose my needles all the daggum time when you come in here and get them. How do they keep track of all those little bitty needles? You're unblocked, Ramona. And he's like, I don't know, he's like, now on everything else, you know, they have a check-in. He's like, that is kind of small. He said they would just do loss or, how do you say, destroyed property. Whenever, no, they're not with me yet. We're buying a house. Kevin's credit's 700. He spoke to the bank last week. And we should know in the next couple months if we're going to be getting something or not. You're on there, baby. I had to follow you back, but you're on there, sweet pea. I just gave you a follow, okay? You're not. I don't know why, but you're not. I don't have the kids at the moment. I don't really talk about that. We hadn't been done right, but you know, it is what it is. I have to take every day like it is. I have to smile through the pain. Like I said, a lot of us smile even though we're drowning inside. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that y'all don't know about. You think you do, but you don't. So, alright, you're undone, Angela. You think you are, but you're not. So, I just hide behind a smile. I'm not happy by any means. I mean, I'm happy with like where me and Kevin are. And I hope that, you know, all things I've said is the truth. Let me just state that, okay? When Kevin and me come on and we're going to talk about our relationship. We're going to talk about how this all came about. We're going to talk about what was happening all those days he came in and looked like he hated my guts. We're going to talk about, since those people aren't here no more and there's nothing to lose, we're going to get into all that. We're going to do a Q&A. I told him, why don't we do a Q&A very soon? That way I can answer some questions but not get too far ahead. Right now we're talking about prison stories. We're talking about him being a captain at the prison. That's what we're talking about right now on that page. We are going to get into, I kind of explained it in the video, but I'll explain it again. Kevin started the prison in 93, 94 when he was 19. He stopped the prison in 06, 07, okay? The things he did at the prison followed him after prison. He's going to talk about that. It's not what you think. It's not sleeping with an inmate. Nothing like that, okay? That's not that. But it's the reason why he wouldn't let me work at the prison. One of the reasons he wouldn't work at the prison when we met. Okay? In 07, 08, he got caught for his first drug charge. He was supposed to have probation or rehab. But because of who his family was and because of who he was married to, that got bypassed. And that'll all come out. He'll talk about it later too. It wasn't her, but I'm saying people associated with her. Okay? So he's going to get into all that. And they completely bypassed his, it's a plea agreement of some sort, but you're supposed to have the chance to go to probation or rehab with your first offense. No. They made an example out of him because he was a captain at the prison for almost 15 years. He had been on the riot team, SORT team since 96. 95, 96, he'd been on the SORT team. He'd been to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico will not be on here. If I can get him to be emotional about Puerto Rico, I cannot post Puerto Rico on TikTok. I will be completely bananaed. They will completely take it away. There ain't any, if I can get his true emotion out of him, there won't be any censor I can put on it that will do it, okay? He's been to Puerto Rico, he's been to Ohio, he's been to Whiteville, he's been to Hendersonville riots. We talked about Stephen Hughley a couple episodes back. He was the most scariest man Kevin's ever came across. His whole aura changed when he walked in the room. That story's posted now. I spelled his name wrong. Kevin didn't tell me how to spell it, and I spelled it wrong, so it is not spelled right, but it's spelled on the screen correct. Then we're going to go into how he got sent to prison, okay? We're going to talk about how he got sent to prison when he walked in, what the warden said. She said, "Captain Cheryl, what the hell are you doing here?" And he said, you know, he made a mistake, but he trusted somebody that everybody would trust. His family. You know, you'd never think it would be happening or that they would do it to you. Well, snakes crawl right beside you half the time. Half the time it's your family and friends, okay? So, he is going to talk about that. He's going to talk about being in prison, being jumped by 6 to 8 men 2 times. We're going to talk about getting out of prison. We're going to talk about fights he had in prison. He's got a big mark right here across his hand where he grabbed a knife with fighting it. He's got a mark right here where the guy went to slash him. Then we're going to talk about him going on the road, working strike jobs on probation, not probation, on parole. Parole let him work on the road as a strike job. And so when I met him, he was in a cycle of let me hurt her before she hurts me. I don't want to be serious with anybody, etc. So when I met him, it just kind of happened and it shocked everybody. It shocked him, it shocked his family, it shocked me. You know, he's going to get into all that. What his intentions were, how it happened, how he embraced my children, and how this 10 years have happened. Okay? We are going to get to that. It may be a few months, but we are going to get to that. I'm doing the best I can. He works 5 to 7 days a week from 5:30 to 6. He works weekends, and he's 52 years old. So having him sit down, like, y'all don't understand. If he sits down, the way y'all see his eyes in those videos, like he looks like he's floating, but he ain't at all. He just gets in his head so much. He's OCD and ADHD, and his mother drove him around to put him to sleep. And I swear he has highway hypnosis, or whatever it's called. Because if he sits down or gets in a truck, it's like, scares the crap out of me. So while we're sitting there, I'm like, I'm a little stagecoat in the background. Then he says the wrong words, and I'm like, no, go back. People are like, when are you going to do a podcast and stop interrupting him when he learns the words that he can and can't say on TikTok? But I hate to do that because when I make him revert, he becomes emotionless. So you don't get the true emotion out of him originally like you get. So I'm trying to redirect my page to be his stories. That way I can tell them more true without having to reword everything, you know, unalived and pew and PD30 and sexual assault. I mean, there's just so many things you gotta say that you can be, you know, restricted for. So I'm like, look, let me get you rebranded, then you can say whatever you want, okay? Cannot put Puerto Rico on here. Puerto Rico might go on Facebook. Well, the way Tasha's been posting lately, I'd be surprised Facebook would take it down. But Puerto Rico will be definitely its own episode. Girl, I tried that. Listen, the first episode, I had questions, okay? That's why it took 30 minutes. Now, the second time, all these other videos you've been seeing, he just wanted to talk. Just ramble and talk, and me just edit it. And I'm just like, honey. He's like, you just don't seem as happy in these as you did the first ones. I was like, because there was no direction. There was no direction. And I would try to lead him into something he told me for 10 years, and he'd completely forget what he was talking about. Yes, Lovely, he completely forgot. And here's the reason. That block list is 3 miles long, and it would take me a year to find y'all versus you just telling me, hey, I need to be unblocked, and I'll unblock you, okay? Most of y'all are blocked.
Or you're struggling with it, now is the best time.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Lovely. Hold on a second, people. I'm unblocking you. Hold on, babe. Well, darn. Blocked it. Three videos back. And I think that if he would have done this in the very beginning, we would have already had, you know, income coming in. We could have already had a podcast going, had his book wrote, had me a book wrote, and have all of our platforms streaming his story, my story, not our kids, not our day-to-day life, not trying to make it by because, I requested it, love, trying to make it by, Pam, I'm going to have to unblock you, baby. Some people were blocked wrongfully. You may be one of them, Sweet Pea. I'm looking. I guess I should post that video explaining it on this page too. I followed you back. That's the page it's on, okay? You weren't blocked, but I followed you back. So I think, and he's like, I hope you're right. I said, honey, so everything that we make off the creator funds going in savings for a lawyer in our house. Anything I make off of gifting is going into savings. So y'all, even if you go to my page and you watch it, if you comment 9 words and you share it to me, I mean, I've got 3 pages besides that one, 2 pages. I've got 3 pages, but 2 I use. If each of y'all shared it to me, that helps. If you comment 9 words and you heart and you favorite it, it really helps it get on the For You page and for him to continue. And I promise as it goes on, he'll get more personal. Whenever I have him on audio only, he's not sitting down in front of all the lights and the camera he's not used to. He just with emotion. But when I set him down in front of a camera, he just freezes up. I mean, he just freezes up. And I'm just like, and people are like, quit telling his story for him. I'm not. But I know these details of these stories probably like the back of my hand because I've heard them so many times. This is why I wanted y'all to hear them. I wanted y'all to hear them because not only will he have them, his children will have them. And maybe it won't be so hard to talk about all this later on because he didn't when he's older and it's affected him. He's going to talk about his childhood too. Childhood played a very large effect in his whole outcome. But he didn't talk about that to his children until I come along. And he's had to do a lot of healing over his childhood alone. Let alone being a captain at the prison, destined to be a warden. He was fixing to be a warden. Made a poor choice, thought he knew better than others. And then go to prison a year later. When you really don't deserve it. And when he tells you what all happened, listen. If I hadn't heard these things from people on the streets, not just his family, my family who worked with him that I had no clue about because I was 11 when they worked with him. And I've heard from strangers on the street who's walked up and talked to him 20-something years later about it. Like, he had a name at the prison. They parted. When he walked on the compound, the inmates parted. I got to get him into more of the emotion of like why they did that, why they respected him. Right now, he's just pretty cut to it, you know. I'm just like, so we will get better. He did buy a curtain and rod, so there will no longer be a sheet hanging up because he didn't listen to me. I told him to go get a curtain and rod and get 2 panels, and we just pull it to the side and then pull it back when we record. He didn't listen. He went and got a curtain. He went and got a sheet. So that's what we were using. So now we'll have a darker backdrop. I am probably not going to use the microphones this time because the last videos were kind of muffled. But I plan to put out 3 to 5 videos a week for him. I've just got to edit them, okay? The last 30 minutes of him talking, I really think it was all about some of the same stuff he already talked about. So I will see if he was going to sit down yesterday and do it, and we got sidetracked and didn't do it, so. Stephen Hughley's probably one of my favorite that I've made so far. He will. Like the other day, he was talking on my live, and he said the K word. I was like, what have I been teaching you? See, this is why we can't do it live, because I'll be bananaed off of TikTok in no time. He got microphones, but the first ones were better. But, you know, oh my goodness. Here, I'll just reshare it again, okay? Sorry, let me go back a little bit. Ladies ask me, I don't understand. I'm sorry. Okay, give me a second. Let me find this video. Post it again. Oops. There you go. Sorry, guys. LILSTAR92. And trust me, the haters, they tried to say, are you going to say something about it? Are you going to call the prison? Boo-boo, he don't work at the prison no more. And boo-boo, you can literally find his name online as a senior and as a captain. So don't say it didn't happen, because there's incident reports online that say otherwise. So, I mean, there's no lies here. I promise he really was a captain at the prison and went to prison between a year and a year and a half later. It wasn't very long. And it'll all make sense. And his charges will make sense when we go over them. What people have said is not the truth. I had to sit down with my legal aid and I had to read every single piece of his arrest record. Every single piece. His being grand jury, when he went for the grand jury, I had to read all of it. I had to read his court proceedings. I had to read it all for my divorce. That way when I got on the stand, I knew what to prepare for. So nobody's going to tell me anything that I don't already know. Okay? That I have verified with multiple people in his family, not just with Kevin. So y'all can believe what you want, but I promise that we're telling the truth about things, whether certain people want to hear it or not. I mean, they're not going to want to. But, I mean, there's people who are watching it already that I was like, did you know that this person's watching it? And he was like, I told you there's more people locally that watches you than you realize. They're afraid I'm going to say something. I was like, we're not going to say anything about anybody in specific. Well, they were part of it, Ashley. That's the point. I said, but you're not telling who, you know. So I said, be careful if you become a content creator, because your family and friends will definitely put the shoe on and lace it up, whether you're telling your story or not. They'll say you're telling their story. Especially when other people come like, did you know that Kevin said that even though he didn't say your name? We know you were part of it. That's how it works, okay? Just be warned before you get on TikTok. But he really did screw his life up. He'll tell you that himself. He really did mess it up. He really he had 1 year of his life that he made poor choices. And people he had around him played an effect. Now, did he, was it still his choice at the end of the day? Yes. But when we get to that, it'll all come together. It'll make more sense. But it is alright. It's not what you think, Queen Bee. You can be rude all you want to, but it's not what you think. At all. So, you're wrong about that. And in fact, if that was the case, he should have been arrested for the 6 months that he was with another woman doing actual stuff. It's not what you've been told. At all. At all. In fact, this is what I said. I would say 60 to 70% of people has done this same mistake. Okay? In trusting someone that they loved or that someone they loved cared about. Not realizing that those people were snakes trying to get rid of you. So when we get to that point, I hope that you realize that anybody could make the choice that he made because of what the situation was. Especially trusting people that you think love you or that you love them. So we'll see. We'll see, we'll see. I know the truth. I've seen every court document, so you ain't gonna tell me anything I don't know. No, they do. They do. It never can happen to them, but I'm telling you, this most definitely can happen to you if you trust people. Okay? That's why Kevin's not a trusting person. At all. He shouldn't be, you know? Oh, nothing. Nothing bad. Nothing bad. Girl, yes, but it's not what you think. I promise. I'm not going to tell his story, but it's not what you think, okay? It's not what you think. And it's pretty effed up that certain people in society can pull certain things off that other people can't pull off. Okay? And it's going to seem too good to be true, I promise. But I also doubted it until I had to sit directly in front of my lawyer and read every court proceeding for him. Okay? I saw the screenshots. I saw the copy of stuff. I saw what his charges were for each thing. So, when it all comes out, it'll just be the truth. You believe it, you don't. That's all I'm going to say. Because I know what the truth is, and I've read his court documents. Not just pulled up his background and judged. Okay? Because I didn't believe it either. I was like, First couple of years he told me, I was like, there's no way. Especially on one part of his charge. Because there's no way. I had dealt with multiple banks. There was no way. But I saw the paperwork with it on the paper. Like, facts of it. It just shows you that there is people that have friends in higher places. And if they want you gone, they will get rid of you. And keep the name, keep the house, keep the children, you know, all of it. So, girl, we ain't talking about nothing too much to go back on. Too much to go back on. Nothing bad. There ain't nothing bad. It's already done and over with. It can't go back, so. Oh, nothing big, nothing big. Goodness gracious, Ashley. That's right. Exactly. Just getting ready. Just getting ready. Oh, right there it is, you dummy. Okay. You too, beautiful. Hope you have a great day. Are you going to work? I hope you do. I wish I could tell you. I really do. You wouldn't believe me anyways. I'm going to let him tell you, but it's just craziness. True craziness. Especially since he'd never been in trouble before. Oh, girl. I wish, but it's not my part to say. I wish I could just come out right now and say it all, because I've seen the court documents. I know what's the truth. All I'm going to say is somebody the other day popped up here and said he wrote prescriptions on his ex-wife. But she ain't a dentist. She don't have scripts. That is not what happened. In fact, okay, I'll just say this, and this plays into effect with the other part, okay? Somehow, that person went and took him off of their joint bank account. I saw the checks, okay, off of their joint bank account. Now, I know when I went to the bank, I had to have the other person's approval to sign themselves off, or I had to close the entire account down because it was a joint account. Well, her family, their family, multiple people in the family had money and connections, and their lawyer was the judge. And they so happened to do that. They had told Kevin to move out, but they needed to separate for a little bit. Then told him that they had canceled the debit card, used the checks. So he went out and wrote checks to pay his bills at his apartment with their checks. And that brought him a forgery charge, even though his name was on it, the very top corner. Tell me how they did it. You tell me. When I tell you he tells you the whole charge about what happened and how he went to prison, it's even more wilder, because he hadn't been in trouble for any rug charge. And in America, you have a one-time deal to where you go to probation or you go to rehab. He didn't get that at all. At all. Do you know what they said to him? Matter of fact, the judge had cancer, and she told, there was like 30 guys that day, that she was retiring and that she was going to get 1 million man hours under her belt before she died, before she left the bench. And Kevin hired a lawyer, $5,000. He put $5,000 down, went back and put $3,000 down. His lawyer come and told him, I'm sorry, I can't win this. The people that's against you, yeah. It's pretty crooked. It's pretty crooked. But in the long run, he trusted somebody. He ultimately made the choice, and they ruined his life. They promised him, you will never be happy. As long as I'm alive, I'll make sure of it, and I'll make sure your life's a living hell. Until then. So, bye, lovely. Have a beautiful, wonderful day, sweet pea. God bless. Peace out. You need Jesus in your life. We ain't worried about what you say, Sherry. Okay? We ain't at all. Not worried about what you say. Thank you for putting me on the For You page. I appreciate it. Girl, I just didn't see her. I would have blocked her to begin with. I don't feed into that nonsense. Nope, don't feed in that nonsense. Now does it make sense how the pew pew charge came about in 2023 that he never even did, never even had it, never touched it, never was nothing. Okay? When he gets into that, I don't know how he's going to react, if I'm being honest. It's been... Now, he played his own effect. He trusted people, and he trusted somebody's word that he loved or thought he loved, cared about, still cared about. And it just messed his whole life up. He lost his ability to hunt, his ability to vote, his ability to travel outside the United States, his ability to go back to the prison and work if he wanted to later on. He lost it all from one choice. I'm believing he could be the exception. But we're not, you know. He is not allowed. He's going to try. He's going to try to get all of it expunged, but you know, like taking off his record, but we ain't got to that point yet. So. But we live and we learn. But made him a very sour person. Made him a very untrustworthy person. Good morning. Made him like, I want to hurt women before they hurt me. That was the truth. That we've had a lot of issues because that mentality. Like, just not having trust. Like, controlling. When he was controlling in the beginning, I was talking about it. It was because he didn't expect to date me. He expected it to be a one-night stand. And when it become more and he fell in love immediately with me, pretty much at first sight's what he says, with how he felt, it all rabbled to this, and everybody was shocked because he swore he wouldn't have a serious relationship again, but he had been single for like 13 years when we met, 12 years. So he finally met somebody that he was happy with, and he become complacent, and he become comfortable, is what he says. So, like I said, they made a statement. We will make sure your life is a living hell until you die, and I'll make sure of it. You'll never live a comfortable life as long as I have anything to do with it. And he hasn't. So, but I'll let him tell that story because it was a life-changing event. He's lucky he didn't get smurdered in prison. But because he didn't go into private custody and he went into the pod and he got jumped, they didn't respect him. I'll let him tell that too. He had somebody stand up and tell them, if you touch him again, I'll handle it. Somebody he knew that had a life sentence. So they didn't mess with him much again, but yeah. Because his is before a certain date, he has to get it expunged. Sorry, I didn't mean to invite somebody. I apologize. Apologize. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. This has been a wild ride for him. I come along. I met him, he said, 5 years after he got out of prison. So, you know. Listen, his is before a certain date, okay? His is before a certain date, and they consider rug charges just as bad as other charges, okay? So, he wants to get his right to vote and his right to hunt and all that stuff back. He's working on it. That's just some of the legal stuff he's working on. But, he hadn't gotten it yet. So. He was actually released, was it the Bush administration or Obama? I have to ask him, I can't remember. He was actually released on an early release from Obama or Bush when they did so many releases for like charges that weren't very major. He was part of that release in 2010, 8, something like that. I was having my first kid in 2008. 2008. I got pregnant in 2007. So he was going to prison, I was having my baby. Yeah, he's working on it. I told him that last year. But, oh, it's just a mixture, girl. I just use a mixture. The blush, nudes, CoverGirl, eye enhancer, e.l.f. nude, rose gold. Just use a variety. Just who together? Who, Lauren? Who together? Who? Just ask me. I'm right here. I'm right here, baby. I'm right here. Well, of course. Why would I be talking about Kevin? I just said Kevin. I'm just saying, I'm not being mean. I'm just saying, like, I ain't got nothing to hide. Yes. It's his story that I'm telling. I don't got a story like that to tell. I was a mom, pregnant at 16, 18, 20, 21. I hadn't done nothing, hadn't lived anywhere, went anywhere, experienced anything. I hadn't worked in the last couple of years because of the hotel and babysitting and cleaning and hosting. Other than that, pretty boring, okay? I've already told my story. I begged him in the beginning to tell his. He listened to everybody else and didn't listen to me. And he said today, I hope you're right. I hope it affects somebody. I hope it helps our family. I hope that I enjoy it and get into it because I do want to tell him. I told him, I said, look it up. Look up stories and see how many you can find. Captain to inmate. You don't find any. Now, I found one correctional officer that was an African-American lady, but she didn't work very long. She was an officer. She worked for like 6 months, okay? Kevin worked for almost 15 years, between 13 and 15 years. So, you know, he was pretty known around Tennessee. When you're known by the warden when you walk in, you know, and he went through a lot. But old. No, I'm just joking. He'd kill me if he knew I said that. He's not old. He actually looks good for his age. He would have whooped me if he knew I said that. He's not old, Lovey. He works 5:30 to 6 p.m. and works between 6 and 2:30, 6 and 4:30 every Saturday, every Sunday. And he's 52 years old. He's not old, but he don't act old. He don't act old at all. But, well, until he sits down, then he's asleep. But other than that, he don't act his age. Now, put him in a chair. Yeah, he does. He's not old, though. He actually looks better. He looks good for his age. They really does. They have people come down from corporate all the time. They're like, one person, multiple people at work had me bring his license up there because they didn't have them. And, they believed he was like 38. Okay? And, they argued with him that he was 38, 35. Because he says, I'm 32 and old. And they're like, no, really, how old are you? He's like, I'm 52. And they're like, no, you're not. So at first, when he first started working, they had to take his license back up there so he could show everybody that he was really 52. When he come in the other day and he was like, did I tell you about that lady that come in from corporate? And I was like, no. He said, she come walking down to me and said, Kevin? He said, every day of the week. She was like, I've heard about you. You got a smart mouth. He was just like, yes, ma'am, I'm picking with you. But she said, how old are you? And she said, I got a bet. How old are you? And he was like, why? She said, I got a bet that I got to win. And he said, I'm 52. And she's like, no, you're not. You're in your 30s. He was like, no, ma'am, I'm not. Pulled out his license again. So, he definitely looks better for his age, considering all the crap he's been through. And his teeth are by choice. He took his top teeth out also by choice because his top teeth were bad, okay? We chose to have our top teeth removed from a reputable dentist. We don't use the METH word, okay? I left my ex-husband because of that, who still goes in and out of jail because of that reason. So, that is not us. Sorry the narrative says that. They say it. Not the truth. We'll eventually get into that too. I've shared it with y'all, been honest. Eventually I'll share other stuff to prove myself, but right now I'm just holding back and preparing. Better to keep prepared than to share and not have it, so, yeah. But he is. He's 52. He was born 10/18/1973. And I was born 6/26/92. We were 18 and a half years apart. Me and his daughter is 18 months apart to the day. I did not know that. When we started dating, he lied to me. I'm just going to be honest. He lied in the very beginning because he was who I told y'all he was. That was the truth. Like the third night in, he told me, well, he didn't tell me the truth about her for 2 months. But, anywho, I didn't know he was a felon when I got with him. I didn't know his age. I thought he was 34. He was 42. So, you know, he did some lying in the beginning. I was already established by then. My kids already called him dad. We already lived together. Like, what was I supposed to do? Pack up and be like, you lied to me! You know? I mean, he was already my senior, so... But I surely didn't know it. If he told me he was a felon and told me his real age, I probably would never gave him a chance. I'm just being honest. And that's why he lied about it, because he wanted chances with girls, women, you know. He thought he was younger, let's present himself younger. Is that right? No. But does all men lie? Yes. Does some women lie? Yes. I mean, I forgive him. I'll never forget him walking out of the bathroom saying, I actually got to talk to you about something. I was like, what? I'm really not I'm really not the age I told you. And I was like, he told me a bunch of different ages. I didn't catch on. Like an idiot. Told me his daughter worked at Walmart at 17, like an idiot. I knew better. I was like, 17? They don't... Okay. Like a dummy. Dummy written across my forehead. No, he was worth it. I've had to do a lot of healing with him, though. I've had to... Woo! He's had to do a lot of healing. That's just the truth. And I don't think if he would have met me... And he says that. If he would have met me, he don't think he would have done it. He don't think he would have healed, you know, from his childhood and stuff like that. But... Woo! Luckily we're here. Not where we used to be. Next 10 years will just be better, you know. Had 10 years of growth, and now let's just ride it out and enjoy it, you know. Oh, well, back then, we've been together 10 years. We've been together a decade. So back then, they didn't hire under 18. Back in 2015, not that I knew of, they didn't hire under the age 15. Now, did they in some places? Possibly. Ours down here did not. I'm glad they're letting them work this young, though. We've been together a decade. That seems unbelievable. It's my longest relationship. Even excluding the month. The month that I lost my damn mind. Lost my mind, I don't know what I lost. Lost common sense, I guess. Yeah, girls, my longest relationship. I mean, my first Riley's daddy, we didn't know each other at all. Like, we were kids, we just didn't know each other. I snuck out. My best friend told on me. My grandma put me on birth control, sent me to my dad's house. My dad's girlfriend, her daughter got pregnant at 11 and 13. She had her babies at 12 and 14. And my dad always swore his daughter wouldn't be pregnant at a young age because his mom was raising me. Well, my best friend told on me and sent me to my dad's. And the one night that my dad let me see my boyfriend, a couple weeks before, my boyfriend had taken me to a urologist appointment, a pediatrician urologist. I had to see a specialist because I kept having UTIs. And he knew that was my boyfriend because my dad had to fax in an approval for my boyfriend to take me in. And so he knew my boyfriend was with me, knew we were active. He gave me antibiotics. And I didn't realize they counteracted each other. So I got pregnant at 15 and 3 months. I had Riley at 16 and 1 month. We got married at 16 and 2 months. We separated at 16 and 4 months. And then I met Michael, which was my downfall. Now, do I regret my children? I do not. They are beautiful. They are sent from God. I would not change them. That part of my life, I should have hit my head across the wall a couple times. But, you know, we all make choices. And I have the mentality of, oh, I'll just stay by my man. I've been married once and divorced already. Who wants to be divorced again by 21? No, don't think like that, okay? Yeah, don't. To have a full brain capacity when you're making these type of decisions totally makes a difference, okay? When you're 25, your decision making should be a lot better. And if it's not, you should reevaluate, okay? Because, Lord, I look back and I'm just like, what was I thinking? Especially with that one, okay? Goodness. Because I couldn't make that one better. Oh, I don't know if anybody can make him better. But I got 3 beautiful children out of it, even though he told me he couldn't have kids. My oldest is 9. I can't have children. Okay. Alright. Women, don't listen, okay? Take care of your own body. I even got pregnant on birth control with Natty and Neelan. Natty and Junior. So, okay. Don't believe what they say. And multiple things can counteract your birth control, okay? Diet pills, antibiotics, some herbal supplements. Missing, not taking them. Oh, girl, enough to know better. No, I'm just joking. Plenty and enough to know better. Ah! I'm just picking. 10. Let me explain. They're not all 10, but I'll explain in a minute. Alright. I have a bonus daughter, okay? I consider her because we've been together 10 years, okay? I have a bonus son. Each of those have grandchildren. One grandchild, okay? Girl, okay? So, there's bonus, okay? Then I have Riley, who's 17. I have Junior, who's 15. Will be 15. I have Natty, who will be 13. I have Andy, who just turned 12. I have the miscarriage, that would have been 8. Okay? Neelan just turned 7. Trustin is 3.5. And I had a molar pregnancy in October. So, now that makes 10. DS! Oh, baby, I'm getting ready. Hold on. DS! Call you right back. Oh, last vez, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gotta hurry up with my eyeliner. Mascara. But yeah. That is how many I have. There is 5 in the home, possibly 6 if my oldest comes back. But we gotta get the house first before he comes home, so. And the other kids. So. Well, thank you. Go watch Kevin's story if you will. Try to keep him motivated to do it. I need you to be, listen. I wish I could show y'all the audio. He'd probably kill me if I showed you the audio. They're not lying, I promise. Not lying. Oh yeah, they're not here. They're not here. And they wouldn't be anyways. They'd be in school, lovely. It's 8 o'clock. But they're not here. It's okay, they're with family. It's a long story. I don't want to get into it. It is on my main page, okay? Okay? Yeah, they would be in school. Kevin wanted to listen to me. Like, I'm glad we did homeschooling, but I wish it had just been that year. I wish it had been 2020, 2021. Because when the kids weren't home, I had my break. I had time to clean. I had time to, Nealon was on a perfect schedule. Literally. He got up at 6. He went back to bed by 9. He got back up at noon. Went back to bed at like 2. Get back up, go get the kids. Be in bed by 8:30, 8. I had a schedule, I had a routine, supper was made, etc. When the kids came home from school, that all just went haywire. And that really caused a lot of stress of never having a break, never having a car that we could, all leave in and go do something. It was just a lot. Like I said, Kevin had come complacent. The things I was saying or asking wasn't getting across. He's like, next time just hit me upside the head across the pan. Yeah, okay. I said, we would have better acting men if women still hit them across the head with a pan half the time, though. Cast iron. Whew. Then you worry about them waking up and not remembering what you said. So, yeah, but listen, don't ever wish that. The day before my kids were taken, I wished that I had a break because we were stuck in that hotel room, and I wish I'd never wished that. So, just be careful what you say, okay? Because the devil's always listening, and God already knows your plans. He already knows what your heart is set. And when you tell your plans out loud, or you say your feelings out loud, the devil knows what your plans and your feelings are, so he can attack you. And I did that way too much along my live journey. And I shouldn't have done that. Now, do we all deserve a break? Yes. That was in part my own choice as well. I chose to homeschool them. I chose to keep them at home. So, it was my fault too, Of course, girl. That's why I'm doing his story. That's why his story is on my main page for y'all to see. I'm trying to help him be understood better than the storyline has been said. Okay, he is not who everybody's made him out to be. He just needed to heal over some things. He was, like you said, he was comfortable and complacent, and should he have done that when he met me and my children? No, but he was in love, and that's what happens, That's what he says. He was in love, and that's what happens. He hadn't been in love in like 13, 15 years, 20 years, so, no. I actually beat the homeschooling case, okay? I beat the homeschooling case. I'm talking about, it was other reasons, but not that reason. But it would have alleviated my stress. And would have got them out of the house, to socialize and make friends. Oh, thank you. If y'all would share that video out to me, heart it, favorite it, and comment 9 words. As long as you're not just hateful, I'm going to leave it. It just gives him, I try to read him the comments every couple days. So he said, thank you for reading those. It really does keep me motivated to keep doing it, because, what's the point if people aren't engaging, they're not enjoying it? What's the point, So, he don't have a page, baby. It's my page. I'm doing all the editing. I'm doing all the checks and the background stagecoach, and all that stuff, Not him. He has no clue how to do it. That's why we're not doing it live, because he doesn't know what to say. He says the wrong words. I'm like, one of the last videos, I just left it. The one that he says he was hanging, I was like, I'm leaving it so they can see what I have to work with. Then the second time around when he said it, it wasn't as emotional because I had to correct him. So I said, I'm just leaving this in here so they can see what I'm talking about. That I'm your stagecoach in the background. I'm just glad he's doing it. I've just got a date. Not saying if I got an actual date, if I'm staying home, going to grandma's, if I got somebody to see, if I got an appointment. I don't say that. I've learned my lesson not to say where I'm going. Or if I'm doing anything at all. I could just be getting up to get my day going and feel better. Oh, if I do stuff today, I'll let you know. Like afterwards. I gotta get into the whole mentality of like vlogging. I don't know how to do that. Like I just can't bring myself to do it at all. I don't know why. I don't play Nintendo Switch. I ain't never played Nintendo Switch. Funny. Funny, funny. Have y'all ever seen me play Nintendo Switch? Have y'all ever seen me play a game, period? The only game I ever had and played was Nintendo 64. That was a long time ago. That was like, I was 8, so 99, 2000. They'll put it. Can y'all do that? Me too, girl. That was the best. I think I got Mario World, and my stepbrother got Mario Kart. Yeah. Vlogger. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what Vlogger is. I didn't have a lot of games. My stepfather got the games for us for Christmas. It was the best Christmas we ever had. And then I think I got, not Adelia, what's it called? The girl, what's her? Starts with an A, I can see it. Zelda, not Elda, Zelda, Lord of Mercy. Zelda and Mario Kart. Mario World, something like that. Zelda. Oh, I need to start. If you're blocked, I'll have to unblock you, okay? If you can't find it, it's because you're blocked. I didn't know you're blocked. I'll have to fix it, okay? Just give me a second. If you are, you may not be, but if you are.
Yo.
Hurry up.
Wildflower bouquet in a dress I can't afford. First man I ever loved, ready to place my hand in yours. And all your eyes fill with tears. I know we've worked so hard to get here, say for better or worse. What I mean in those two words is, here's to the nights that we spent crying, the weight of the world hanging on our shoulders. Here's to the days of bills unpaid and being afraid of getting older. Jobs they came and went, so did most our friends. Felt like the rain.
Okay, I'm almost done. Finish line.
Took my hand, slow dance through all the things. That's when I love things. I still remember the first time, that first time you held me in your arms, pulled me in and we locked eyes. My left hand in your right, you danced me across the kitchen floor. Yeah, now you're spinning me around in a toxic gown. This crowded room, everyone we love is watching, but it feels like it's just me and you singing. Here's to the nights that we spent crying, the weight of the world hanging on our shoulders. Here's to the days of bills unpaid, being afraid of getting older. Jobs they came and went, so did most our friends. Felt like the rain would never quit, but you took my hand and we slow danced through all of it.
Wow.
Love is, yeah, it's a promise for a lifetime. Little ring on my finger, it's more than a night in our story. It's a chapter, it's the day of I do and the happily ever after that.
Oh, what did I do with it? What did I do with it?
Here's to the nights that we spent crying, weight of the world hanging on our shoulders. Here's to the days of bills unpaid. I can't wait till we grow older. Jobs they'll come and go, but we'll always know when the rain won't seem to quit. Darling, take my hand and we'll slow dance through all the things. That's what we'll
Great. Thank you for the corgi. Do my mascara right quick and I'm ready to go.
I can hook a trailer on the 2-inch hitch. can shoot a shotgun, I can catch a fish. I can change a tire on the side of a road. Yeah, I know a few things a man ought to know. How to know when it's love, how to stay when it's tough, how to know you're messing up a good thing, and how to fix it before it's too late. And yeah, I know
I'm gonna wear this or not.
gave up and got it wrong. If you
Probably not.
don't
I'm gonna wear my other shirt.
yeah, I know a few things a man ought to know. If I can't have it, I can do without. I can hang a picture, same as I can take it back. And how to keep it hidden when a heart gets broke. Yeah, I know a few things a man ought to know. How to know when it's love, how to stay when it's tough, how to know you're messing up a good thing, and how to fix it before it's too late. And yeah, I know, boy, you gave up and got it wrong. Don't let it go.
Alright guys, I'm gonna take it off.
Few things a man ought to know.
There were a few things I had to do. This is before I leave. Look at my mascara quick. I don't do it on the road. I do not. Be everywhere. Alright, love, I'm supposed to get off too. I got some things to do. Oh. Bye. Y'all do anything interesting today? Oh. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. You'll do wonderful. You'll do wonderful. Goodness.
That's it. Yeah. What you see, Jay? Trying to busting up, trying to fix another bitch, trying to do what's good. You know my phone, I'm gonna leave it up. Somebody come up and ask what I have to do.
Sorry guys, I forgot how nasty this chorus was. I apologize. Oh girl, thank you for joining. I apologize for how nasty it is, okay? I forgot.
Oh.
Sorry. Woo! I'm about to pull my eyelashes out. Like, oh, goodness gracious. Please do not water. Please do not water. Please do not water. Please. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Woo!
Missy.
You got it. Oh. Well, thank you. You did wonderful. Woo! I'm gonna feel like there's something stuck in my eye all day. Ethan, you got this, girlie. I promise. Those babies are gonna love you. If it was a bunch of adult job, I'd be like, ugh, stay weary. But you're with babies, so you'll have a great day. I wanted to be a teacher growing up and had all them kids and knew I couldn't support them on that pay without a good man. I know I'm 33 without a teaching degree, so congrats on getting a teaching job. Whew. We need to stop paying football players and politicians millions of dollars and start paying our teachers millions of dollars so they can afford stuff. Oh, okay. Well, they can afford stuff for their family and their classrooms. I was so excited to see teachers sharing how much they actually get a year. It's crazy. I swear there's something in that eye over there. I swear. Swear it's in that right eye. Huh? His belt's too big. He's lost so much weight. He's lost so much weight. We can plan something different day, baby. I got something to do today. Like, I have to do it today. But yeah, we can definitely plan something. I'd like to do something. That eye's gonna drive me crazy all day until I mess up my makeup trying to fix it. There is nothing in the eye, Ashley. Nothing. Nothing. You just got mascara all over your hand. Oh, gosh. I'm pretty sure at this point it'd be a lot faster to do flossies than it was to do this. So much work. So much work, so much work. Sorry. Okay, so far now my plumper. Where's my plumper? I didn't throw it down there. Ashley, you know this routine like the back of your hand. Why are you? Why are you messing up so much? To anybody who didn't see their order package last night, it'll be packaged tonight or tomorrow, the latest. I gotta pick up some bags. Gotta pick up some bags when I go to the store. Thank you for blocking them. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, appreciate it. Ready. Alright, let's put stuff in here. Got to find my put this in here. Heat it up right quick before I go. Alright guys, whoa. Nope, still in that, Ashley. Alright. I'll be right back in just a second. I'll do what I gotta do. Papa, this American pie. Put this shirt. Put this shirt on. Better. Where's my lip gloss? My lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is cool. Hi, Brother. It's cool. What you know about it? Where is it? There's my glasses. Glad I didn't forget those. Lip gloss is popping. My lip gloss is cool. I don't know where it's at. Guess that's what I have to do. Alright. Okay, here's my packages. Let's put Kevin packages in there. Oh, what he's going to do? I don't know. I'll just come back. Alright, lovely. I've got things to do. I'll be back. I'll try.